Luke chapter 17 verses 5 to 10. The word of the Lord remains forever. This is the word that has been proclaimed to you. The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." The Lord replied, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it would obey you. Who among you would say to your servant who has just come in from plowing or tending sheep in the field, 'Come here immediately and take your place at table'? Would he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for me to eat'? Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. You may eat and drink when I am finished'? Is he grateful to that servant because he did what was commanded? So should it be with you. When you have done all you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants, we have done what we were obliged to do.'" The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." That's an unusual statement. How does one measure faith? It's not the same as measuring out a pound of beef, is it? I believe the apostles are really saying is that we have faith in you, but can you give us a firmer, a stronger faith? Jesus then says, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it would obey you." The rabbis believed the roots of the sycamine, or mulberry tree, would remain in the earth for 600 years, thus the tree was firmly rooted in the ground. Jesus is really saying, "Thing is impossible if you have faith and it is within God's will." Faith is your measure and recognition of your dependence on God and your willingness to do His will. A mustard seed was the smallest of all seeds known at the time, but a mustard seed, like you, planted in the fertile soil of faith, will grow rapidly. The apostles didn't need an increase in faith. Jesus had planted the seed within them. It was now their turn to allow the seed to grow. As you grow, you will be tender and discover much about your developing world of faith. Your leaves of faith will become tougher as your mustard plant broadens into the secular world. Next, you will bloom into the flower of faith for all to see. You will learn to defend your faith among the insects and illnesses of the world. That's just what happened to the apostles. Their faith began in a small way, but then grew and gave comfort to those who willingly listened to them. The apostles' first responsibility was to develop their faith, to fully learn the lessons Jesus taught. Then came their second responsibility to remove their lamp of light and truth from under the bushel basket of safety and teach the lessons they learned to the rest of the world. Jesus continues with the parable of the unprofitable servants. The apostles were not to teach with pride but in humble service to their students and the growing church. The apostles were given the job or responsibility to teach. Their job description should have read, "Teach with humility, the lessons that were taught to you." Verse 10 says, "So you also, when you have done all that is commanded you, say, 'We are unworthy servants, we have only done what was our duty.'" As servants, they shouldn't expect praise for doing what was expected. You will become the leaders of the church, but you shouldn't expect praise or expect that your service will give you any special rewards. Jesus did not always like the apostles' way of acting, but by adapting himself to their temperament, praying for them to his Father, giving them a holy example of conduct, he loved them, and that love changed them. Mother Angelica.